Hello, welcome back. First of all, you'll have to excuse a slightly different voice and the occasional cough, because I think I've got the beginnings of a cold. But I thought I'd come and do this recce. It'll either, Lord, big boy. It'll either help my cold, help get rid of it, or make it significantly worse. But I kind of wanted to get another recce done before Christmas. I have got a run planned for Saturday the 21st, the winter solstice. But I wanted to try and get this recce done before Christmas. And today the weather's meant to be overcast, but it should stay dry. It does look very grey, and there are drops of water in the air, but tomorrow I think it is going to rain, so I thought I'd better take advantage, get it done now. So I'm back at Bickley, which I ran through on the way back when the last run. As you know, if you've seen the last video, I reached a point where the footpath hit a river and I couldn't really go any further because there was no bridge. So I then had to sort of turn around and make my way home a different way, and I passed through Bickley, which you just saw there with the ponds. So I'm now just making my way down this road, which should bring me back to the route I was on last time. I've got to do a bit of the route that I already did, like the same route that I did last time, a section of it, so that I can get to the point where, and I'll put the map on screen, I should get to the point where the old route I made turns into the new altered route, which should avoid that river without a bridge. So, and yeah, if you remember from the last video, that junction of paths where I went wrong twice before finally finding the right path, I've got to go down. I think it was the second of the two. I think it's basically straight on from where I was last time, with that farmhouse on the left. And it'll be a new route that will hopefully eventually take me to the main road and Eastham Bridge. If I can just do that today, if I can just get to Eastham and over the bridge, cross the river, then I'll probably just go straight home from there. And then that final south section of the route I need to recce, I'll save that for another time. Yeah, this section has proved problematic, so it'll be good to draw a line under it. So enough waffle for now. I will bring you back when we get back to the ruins. So you might remember this field from the last video. We basically need to make our way down there, and then it's down and up a wooded area. I think it's quite steep up the other side, as I remember. Then we've got to cross a very muddy field, go through that little wood where I got lost a bit, and then there's like a long path along the tree line, and then we'll get to that junction. So I'll probably just come back to you at that junction, otherwise I'm just showing you the same same stuff as before. But the conditions are pretty much the same as last time. Overcast, quite wet, very muddy on the ground. Bit more noise than last time. But yeah, I'll see you back at that junction. So if you remember from last time, I came down here, took this wrong turn down here, realised I'd gone wrong, came back, went down that way, realised I'd gone wrong, came back, and then went that way, which went for about half a mile, eventually down to the old canal bed and the river where there was no bridge. So this time we're going to take this option, the second one, second mistake I made, and follow the new route I've plotted. Yeah, hopefully this works out today, because it would be very frustrating to have to come back and find another way to get to Eastham. That seems to be a big challenge, actually getting to that bridge over the Team, I think. It's got to be the Team, isn't it? Or is it the River? Anyway, I'll put it on screen just so that I know as well. But yeah, it's proving a bit challenging, so like I said earlier, if I can just get there, get to Eastham and then go home, and then it's a massive section done. But you know, like the last video showed, it's a lovely house, that. Like the last video showed, there could be public rights of way absolutely everywhere. Well, there are public rights of way everywhere. And the landowners obviously can't obstruct them, but at the same time, they don't have to maintain them, or at least they don't have to make them easy for people to find and follow. They just have to make sure they're not deliberately stopping people, which still happens, but like that situation with the river, there being no bridge. I don't know if there was a bridge originally. It would make sense, because that's where the footpath went, unless it used to be such a small stream that people just stepped over it. I don't know, but if there was a bridge and it was swept away, then obviously the landowner, if they don't use that bridge, if they don't need to go there, they're not going to spend a fortune rebuilding a bridge just for the occasional hiker or runner. So yeah, it kind of makes sense. Frustrating, but there you go. So I think we should have a lane like this for a while, and I can't remember what the rest of the route is. It's going to be a new experience, I think, most of it. I have been here before. I came here on a previous... squirrels there. I have been here on a previous run. I think it was the around Tenbury route I did. I think it was this summer. So yeah, I think this will possibly feature in a previous video. Yeah, I'm going to crack on now, and we'll bring you back when we find something interesting. I don't know if you can see it from this distance, but the river down there looks really green, like real proper algae green. Which I thought was unusual for a river, a canal maybe, but yeah, it'd be interesting to get a closer look. I think we've got to go close and possibly even cross to that river there. That'll be interesting. Yeah, it is a strange colour. So this must be a continuation of the canal bed that we saw in the last video. I would really like to try and run or walk that entire canal bed. Problem with that is, I think it sort of starts at Leominster, at least the bits that you can actually get to start at Leominster, and I think it goes all the way to the river at Bewdley or Stourport, but it passes through a lot of private land and passes through a lot of caravan parks as well, so trying to do it would be pretty tricky, I think. But I don't know, I might have a stab. It's obviously used as a road by the landowners. There's a river over there which you can hear probably. And we're carrying on that way. So I think we need to go this direction, public bridleway. Yeah, I think we need to go in that direction along the river. So on we go. Right, presume we've got to go up to where those gates are. I'll check the map. Yeah, so I think it is this gate, but on the map. God, this is slippery. On the map, it's kind of showing me as being a bit left of where I need to be. Now I think I need to go up there, not up there, so I'll check the map again. Yeah, it is straight up the hill rather than going right. That gate. One problem is, looking at the map on my phone, for some reason I was thinking I was going north. Only for a few minutes, but I am actually going south now, because when we got to the old canal bed, that's where we start turning south on the route. And yeah, there has been a lot of map checking so far on this part of the route on this recce. Not least because I haven't been here before. This section definitely. So yeah, a lot of checking, but once it's done, that's it then. Whew. Mind you, even when I come to actually do the marathon in one go, I'm still going to have to check. Oh wow, it's a fox, I think. It's quite a big fox, but yeah, I'm still going to have to keep checking when I do the actual marathon, because it's a lot of it's a long way, 26 miles, and a lot of gates and changes of paths, changes of terrain, wooded sections. It's a lot of navigating. But hey ho, it would be nice to just run it without having to look at anything, but could end up going miles in the wrong direction. Right, I need to check the map again now. This solar farm, I remember seeing this on the map a couple of weeks back, not knowing it was there. But yeah, the route follows along the left side. That's about all I can say about it. Really, it's a solar farm. What have we here? Amazing how many different types of gates you find and styles. Well, I wouldn't say it was interesting. Funny, maybe. I wonder what percentage of them are improvised. Probably quite a lot. God, what a boring thing to think. Sorry. Anyway, this next section, pretty straightforward, I think. I'll just check I'm still on course, and then I'll bring you back in a short while, unless something very interesting happens. I don't know, like a bank robbery or something. Oh God, that's deep. Good Lord. Yeah, there was no real way around this. I was going to get my feet wet, but wow. I'm really going in. Well, that's quite interesting, and I certainly wasn't expecting it to be too bad, but at least in the summer, at least in drier periods, hopefully this won't be a problem. It'll just be a bit spongy maybe. Oh, that's cold. Ooh. It's amazing, isn't it, to think what the sorts of things that the local animals deposit in water like that. Right, get straight on. Oh, mud everywhere now. Yeah. So that's where we just were. I was going to go straight ahead, and it's a good job I checked the map, because I think I was meant to come down there rather than that really wet, boggy section I just did. I think I was meant to come on that track on the other side of the hedge to the right, and then down to here. And I think we've got to go across here a bit, and then it looks like it's some footpath going through properties, which is going to be interesting. This could be a tricky bit. It comes down to the landowners. So yeah, let's see what happens. So not much commentary in the last couple of videos, because I was basically on private property and I didn't want to talk too much, draw attention to myself. But I did just chat to a lady who owns the property. She was very, very helpful, and it seems like, yeah, the getting to Eastham Bridge from here is difficult without crossing over private property. A lot of the footpaths aren't easy to find, and the main one that people used to use went over the viaduct, which collapsed. Now, I think that's the viaduct I went over in my video earlier in the year when I was walking around Tenbury. You can still kind of go over it, but you're not supposed to, it's boarded off. But that was like the main route if you wanted to sort of get from Eastham across the main road and then up north. Now it's kind of very difficult. But what I'm doing is, she said to just go down the main road, the main drive, and get to the main road that way. I think that's the road that I saw in my summer video that I didn't go down because it said private property. On reflection, they'd have probably been okay. She was very nice. I think her husband's probably the same. But it, you know, it's not a public right of way, so I don't want to encourage people to use it. That would be the quickest way to get to the main road from here. But I am going to just try this route on the map and see if I can continue on the route that I've planned. But yeah, it's getting very likely that I'm going to have difficulties again with the route because of, you know, rights of way and stuff. But we'll see where this leads me. I'll see how we get on. Yeah, the only problem was that property back there where there was actually two, I think, rights of way going into and through their property, but because they put up a relatively new barbed wire fence and no stile or no gate, the only way you'd have been able to follow it would have been to sort of climb over the gate and walk through. And speaking to the lady, I don't think they're necessarily aware of or haven't put much thought into the rights of way that go through their property. That's not a criticism, not at all. I mean, I'm sure they've got way higher priorities than any old rights of way that might run through their land. I mean, in the end, I just walked around and then sort of went down the road a bit. I did have to climb over a fence, that's the only thing. If it had just been gates, then I'd have probably ended up thinking, well, I'll keep that as part of the route. Hopefully they won't mind. There's not going to be many people using this route, I don't think. It's mainly going to be me, occasionally. But yeah, having to climb over that fence, that's an issue. I'll have to look at it on the map, and then if I can change the route slightly and find another way around it, I will. But it is a tricky area, I think it was always going to be tricky. It's just not. There just aren't really the existing rights of way and footpaths that are there just aren't used very often, and they're not maintained, so it's made it very difficult. But anyway, the difficulties are over now. I have managed to get through all that. It hasn't barred my way like it did last time with the other river, the bridgeless river. So I'm now just following this road down to, I think this is Featherbed Lane. But this will lead to the A459, I think. Again, I'll put it on the screen. I can't remember road numbers. It's not very interesting. to me anyway. But yeah, I've got to cross this road coming up, and then I'll basically be at Eastham Bridge, which you can just about see over there. And once we're over that bridge and we're over the River Team, that's it. We will be south. I'll have finished this north section. The question now is, look at my watch. So I've only done 4 miles, which isn't a lot at all. So I think I am gonna crack on and try and do the rest of the route back to Tenbury. So there could be numerous complications there. But yeah, it just feels like running back to town now, the easy way. It'll kind of feel like a wasted opportunity, I think. So I'll catch you up in a bit, and we will continue our recce. If, of course, I'm splitting this into 2 videos, which is entirely possible, then thanks for joining me for this video, and I will see you in the next one when we venture south. Thanks for watching, and take care.